amazing second leg as we get this grand final back underway. Paulo Neto leads 2-1 on aggregate. KINGCJ left to right in the white kit. Paulo Neto from right to left. And right from the get-go, Paulo Neto looking to try and strike, and what a way to start the second leg. Paulo Neto up by 2.
What a turnover, decisive, quick in action, no hesitation, across the body. Cristiano Ronaldo with the conversion. And I was actually gonna say, in that first leg, I felt it was at times a little subdued, well managed, but there wasn't that aggressive chase that we normally see in an elimination game. And this is gonna force KINGCJ to probably look into changes by halftime at the latest, if it were to stay this way.
I do have flashbacks to, I think it was LS1 or LS2, anyway, one of the players who tried as they might to get back into the game and they got pummeled, but I tell you what, that's a good opportunity. But unfortunately, Van der Sar stops it. In FIFA esports, when you are chasing a lead, sometimes you concede, and you go 4, 5, 6 down, and it becomes a bloodbath. And that's not something that KINGCJ will want to be on the receiving end.
He's been on the receiving end of this matchup.
Yep.
If you recall, Paulo Neto played KINGCJ in the most lopsided matchup we've ever seen in the broadcast.
Ever.
Finishing, was it 11-0, 9-0?
Could have been more as well. At one point, I think KINGCJ just started holding on to the ball. So that will be in the back of his mind for sure. That is the chance of history repeating itself. Slightly different, of course, when it's on land rather than online. CJ will not want to be in that position ever again. Cancelo fires one forward. Maybe he can grab one back here. Tries a cheeky little back heel. I like it, but nothing comes of it.
I love the pick out. I love the cancellation. You see the confidence, the elite level of play again. I know it didn't work out, but I'm telling you right here, right now, you don't have that in your locker.
Only 12 minutes into the second leg. KINGCJ finds himself down by 2, but still plenty of time to work with. But I mean, if you had looked at the games today, for most players, if they were down 2 goals when they started a 90-minute matchup, they would have lost. We were only seeing 1 goals really coming into the equation. That's a fantastic ball as well, but great defending from CJ.
We should mention too with the opener, we saw it off the weak foot from Cristiano Ronaldo. Remember that 5-star weak foot? There's the 2 variations that have become really commonly used, whether you've got the team of the year, statistically better, or you have the foot birthday with the 5-star weak foot. So that upgrade, we can go each direction without having to second guess anything.
Paulo Neto with a chance, but again CJ bringing the player down.
And Faisal said he was sorry.
This time is not a red card though. It's a professional foul, recognizing that the game was potentially over if that had gone in. Mokhtar gets the yellow. CJ opting to give away a free kick in a dangerous position, may I add. We've not seen any direct free kicks so far.
This is scoreable direct. I don't know that he'll go for it, but it's definitely scoreable.
Well, we're switching over to CR7. Cristiano Ronaldo is going to be taking this one. And judging by that cursor you see on your screen, I think he might be trying to take a shot here. Cristiano Ronaldo takes a pop, manages to bobble off, and it will go out of play. The effort comes to nothing, but will still be a corner here for Paulo Neto. Shifts the ball back to player retrieving. Finds Mokhtar on the edge. Happy to go back, happy to hold on to the ball. Doesn't need to rush or force anything at this point. He has the lead, and it's by 2 goals. He has that cushion to work with, but every time you lose the ball, you do give away that chance and that possibility for CJ to get back into this game. There's an over-the-top fire-through ball, but Van der Sar collects.
And we're seeing these new strategies with almost utilizing a target striker. We have these lobs into the box, and you're looking for that knockdown or that flick on, kind of old school Premier League tactics if you really think about it, when you had the singular striker, a big body up front, and you would play off of them.
23 minutes in, still a lot of time for KINGCJ. Shifts one into the middle, manages to bring it down as well, has to beat the defenders here. Twists and turns, gets brought down, but no penalty called. It was safe, it was fair. Referee doesn't deem it worthy of any sort of foul. Paulo Neto now is going to have opportunities to score more, because naturally CJ is going to be coming forward. He's going to be taking risks and bringing that back line up a little bit. Here comes CJ once more. Mbappe coming all the way back to the midfield to ensure that he's got possession and can help out with the rest of the team. Mokhtar manages to steal the ball back, and now here comes Paulo Neto again. Mokhtar in the midfield, assistance from Mbappe. And Paulo Neto looks so calm on the ball, it has to be said, considering the mistake that we saw a little earlier on. It hasn't fazed him whatsoever. Now Shaqiri feeds into Ronaldo. Shifts the ball forward, stops up, still has possession as well. Tries to go for something delicate and fancy, but on this occasion it doesn't work.
It's feeling comfortable. It's looking cozy. This is a super dangerous position for KINGCJ as well because 3-goal spread is going to be too much. He really needs to be next to convert on something to make this interesting in the final.
Could be here as well with Ronaldo, but again, it's just not quite there with the timing. Van der Sar easily collects it. Desperation when you see shots like that sometimes, but they do go in, so you can understand it, and I have given credit to CJ for trying those different approaches.
It's a double-edged sword. We question from the commentary booth, why are they not taking more shots from outside the box? Then we see a couple, and it doesn't struggle or doesn't challenge the goalkeeper. There's not a corner kick there. There's not a deflection. Catches it like another day in the office.
It's very easy from our point of view to question it, isn't it? But for the players, they have to do whatever they can to try and get back into this game. And CJ brought a player down when Paulo Neto was through. But Paulo Neto on the right-hand side of your screen, or full picture now, does have a 2-goal lead here.
I will say this, and I'm not trying to put any negativity out there, but Paulo Neto has also struggled with seeing out games. He's been in positions on multiple occasions where he could have been advancing from a semifinal or even a final and wasn't able to get it done, but he was put himself in that advantageous role. He was the one that got to decide, and he wasn't able to close it out.
But that's something we've said about both of these players, or I say we, the community maybe has said that they don't have what it takes to get it done in LAN.
I don't know if that's the argument. KINGCJ has always been on this upward trajectory in more recent time.
But he said it himself. He's been considered an online warrior.
Because he's always been online. Paulo Neto's pre the online era as well.
It's true.
He has LAN success and online success. So I don't think that's part of the question mark in terms of his gameplay. There will be questions about him seeing out a final because he's been in positions where he hasn't done it before.
Yes. When it comes to eMLS competition, Paulo Neto has been there and has not been able to get it done, but
and he's been ahead. He was impacting that matchup. It wasn't as if he had to create that comeback.
No, he
was running the show.
He can dictate the pace of this game. CJ is the one who has to pose all the questions.
I don't know if he was a musician, but he was the orchestrator.
With you, sort of. Here's KINGCJ. Manages to play the through ball, but it stops up a little bit. There's the yellow card that was given earlier as well. Ronaldo trying to latch onto it, does so, and no, it's a second chance maybe.
How does that not go in?
Not able to bundle the ball into the back of the net, but maybe a little bit of worry. On the side, are you onside? It looks like you are, and that's going to be one back for KINGCJ.
Here we go.
Game on.
Maybe a curse of the commentator. Maybe CJ wants me to talk some more. Paulo Neto's been, again, in this position time and time again. Gets ahead. Is able to definitely put his stamp onto the matchup. However, when it comes to seeing it out, he struggled. Even for his goal machine. Where was that clearance out of the back? That was out of nowhere, not needed. He was one pass away from that game being over. They had to go to extra time.
Mike doesn't want to put any negativity into the crowd, but I mean, he is going to say how, like, it's his fault completely.
This is
by the
objective.
Way. Everything
this is
that's
not
happened
subjective.
Now is Mike LaBelle's fault. Everyone remember that. 45 minutes on the clock. 3-2, still in favor of Paulo Neto, though. One last chance for one of these competitors before we get the halftime whistle. It's Paulo Neto going forward with Ronaldo, and oh, it's close, but no cigar.
Why is he shooting that with a finesse shot? That's a strange angle. He already broken through. Beautiful delayed first touch. You have the overlapping run outside. I know the clock is ticking down, but you got to find that extra pass. Maybe one of the first moments we've seen without the composure as well in this matchup.
Well, it's 1-1
He's handled all of it perfectly
in this leg, but of course 3-2 in favor of Paulo Neto across both of them. And KINGCJ will be delighted to have got one back. It was a very early lead in this leg from Paulo Neto to try and give him that advantage, to try and give him that cushion, and he's got that cushion. He had that safety net. He was allowed to concede one, but now CJ, he's breathing down the neck of Paulo Neto. And if what you say is true, if Paulo Neto has a history of, you know, maybe not being able to get over that final hurdle,
he's got to break that history. That's that mental fortitude or the mental struggle that we always talk about in the FIFA community, and they're going to see a lot of adjustments here. And what's so big about that goal for KINGCJ is he now doesn't have to alter his gameplay or play style dramatically. He can make minor shifts, minor changes, maybe some substitutions, a different formation, but he does not have to go constant pressure or really rev up the depth. He can take his time with it. He doesn't have to rush. He doesn't feel that same type of internal pressure where the clock is against him, at least not yet.
Yeah, he doesn't want to force anything too early, because then if you find yourself, you know, taking that risk, too many players upfield, you give the opportunity to your opponent to take another 2-goal lead, and then you really put yourself on the back foot, stuck between a rock and a hard place. That man on your screen, though, Paulo Neto, still has the lead and still has his eyes set on being the champion here at eMLS Cup in Austin, Texas. Second half underway then, in our final 45 minutes of this season. Who is going to be the victor? Is it going to be Paulo Neto who has the lead, or are we going to see the comeback from KINGCJ and DC United? Everything that we've seen so far this tournament has surprised me. Surely there's not another twist in the tail. But what a bloody goal that was. Paulo Neto, 4-2. And one of the best goals that we've seen so far.
Goal of the tournament, Daniel Son.
Woo!
The passing, the pace, the rhythm, the roulette, perfection. Hand clap, salute the main man. R9 with some extra spice.
Wow, just as I was saying, have we seen everything?
Oof.
Again, it's another twist, and quite a literal one as well that happens on the pitch. KINGCJ can only watch and appreciate what's just unfolded. Paulo Neto with a 2-goal lead once more, and it's another early goal from the kickoff.
Put that in a highlight tape.
He needs a response. He needs a way to get the fans back on his side. First strike is no good. Second bite of the cherry doesn't work out either. And now with Paulo Neto, every time he has this ball, you know full well he's looking at that clock.
That was special.
That's what we've been asking for in this tournament. We've had everything else. We've had red cards, we've had the post being hit, we've had the crossbar being hit, but we haven't had that magical goal. But maybe this could be the tournament here. A 3-goal lead could be everything, but Van der Sar does manage to just hold on to that one.
He's tiptoeing. These are dangerous times. A lot of space to work with. Maybe an extra pass there from Paulo Neto instead of the shot as well. The back post, he was creeping in.
56 minutes on the clock. CJ out left here. Tries to go in field, but no one's there. Actually, Ronaldo manages to get onto it, and the ball was bobbling. It was loose, but Paulo Neto, again, defensively is sound. Holds on, regains the possession, and now can look to once more slow this game down, dictate the pace, and frustrate his opponent.
It's going to be a reckless finish. There's too many bodies, too much space, too much chance.
And maybe too many opportunities, especially if you're onside, but what a tackle that is. Again, it could have been a red card moment, but that's the scenario where it works out.
And I was just going to say, you stressed that when he got the initial red card, that there are those opportunities, those chances where the risk measures up to the reward, and it's a no call.
And now off the back of that, straight down the other end, tries to ping one into the box, but it's going to be a corner kick. Shaqiri will take it. Fires it into the penalty spot, manages to get a dink, but Van der Sar, it wasn't too dangerous, but it certainly does put a question mark above the head for Paulo Neto that he has to continue to apply the pressure here. Cannot afford to allow KINGCJ back in this game.
Also, it should be said, CJ's players have to be getting tired. When you're looking at this constant pressure, they're all over the pitch, just the movement in general, the aggression.
Here's R9. Assistance in the middle, and now shift play to the left-hand side. Cancelo dinks one in, but it's going to be denied, and now CJ has possession and can go forward. There's a lot of speed and pace to these attacks now because he's starting to realize the clock is going to be against him. 22 minutes left. And that is not a long time. If you play FIFA, you know full well that those minutes tick away so fast, and you need 2 goals. The pause will be cued because we know that KINGCJ will be throwing everything forward now.
And because he cued that pause, I think it might be an error to show that to your opposition. If I'm Paulo Neto right now, I'm holding that ball as much as possible. I don't want the ball to go out of play. Why would I want that reset? I don't want this additional pressure.
Space on the right-hand side. Shaqiri, will he find it? Does so, tries to play the through ball, countered and denied by Cancelo, and then there is the scary factor of playing such high press. Now maybe you can find the player in the middle. Instead he plays it one more. That could be the tournament. Paulo Neto, 5-2, a 3-goal advantage. It's a sloppy goal after a beautiful one earlier, but that may just be it here at eMLS Cup. Has Paulo Neto done enough to win this tournament with 16 minutes remaining on the clock?
Congratulate the man. He has done enough, Dan. We've got the spread. He's gonna be the first, I guess, out of North America champion as well. Only signing from Brazil, of course, originally. residing in Brazil.
Well, I remember when he did sign for Atlanta, and it was a big moment for his career. And even though his first season in eMLS wasn't necessarily as successful as he would have hoped, perhaps now in his second season, he may be lifting that trophy. And I still say may, Mike, even though it's a 3-goal lead, I've seen crazier things happen than a deficit be overturned in 16 minutes.
You're more optimistic than I am, though.
That's I am.
But I will give you a history lesson. If you wonder, why is Paulo Neto, how did he get signed by Atlanta United?
How did he get signed?
If we're going to date back, he was a 16-year-old kid.
Wow.
We had an FGS tournament, of course, happening in Atlanta. Paulo Neto goes there, makes some connections, some relationships. They say this is going to be our guy. Next season signed. Hands were shaken. The deal was made, and he hasn't looked back ever since.
Well, Atlanta United may be very thankful for that very moment just a couple of years ago, because they are on the brink of being the champions of eMLS Cup 2022 with Paulo Neto at the forefront of that. He has played so phenomenal all tournament long. He's had a couple of tight games, he's had a couple of mistakes here or there, but with a 3-goal lead now with 16 minutes left remaining, you just have to think, surely it can't go wrong, but KINGCJ will be looking to try and prove that wrong.
There's not enough clock. That's the issue. There's just not enough clock. It's not even about mistakes or forcing pressure.
Mike
not to be anticlimactic.
Mike thinks it's done and has quite the reason to think so as well. But, and there is always going to be a but, if CJ can get something here and put himself within 2 with 10 minutes remaining, it could be done. But that seems a very far distance away at the moment. The first hurdle is to get a goal right here, right now with this attack. I feel like it has to be this one. Dig to the back post. Oh, and Van der Sar just about holds on to it. And now with possession in Paulo Neto's hands, this is where he really can start eating away at that clock and looking to become our eMLS Cup 2022 champion.
The confidence from Paulo Neto there, knock it back to Van der Sar, knowing he takes some clock off, they have a little bit of a light reset.
I tell you what though, here is Ronaldo managing to get the ball roll! And I tell you what, Mike Lebel, don't get that champagne out just yet.
Have I put the ultimate jinx?
5-3, game on, CJ gets one back, still a long way to go though. 2 more goals required in what is only about 9 minutes of game time.
It's too much space,
Neto,
running out wide.
He's through, needs support, goes for the bull rock, plays it inside, could be the game, and oh, it's gone wide. That would have been it, signed, sealed, and delivered.
I think it's an error in judgment there for Paulo Neto. He had a lot of space to the corner flag. It's better to take the 2 or 3 minutes than potentially go for that.
KINGCJ, a goal in this attack and it's on, but with possession being won by Paulo Neto, you'd imagine that tries to cancel everything out. He's even lumping that ball forward to waste time a little bit more. Plenty of space for Mbappe to try and twist and turn and work with. Fires one inside. This could be the game wrapped up right here, but denied by CJ, wins the ball back and will go up the other side of the pitch. There's so much space on that left-hand side, but can't get that ball. And maybe with that, the chances of CJ getting back into this game perhaps have dwindled away.
What a turn.
Paulo Neto, possession at his feet. The cup almost in his hands. Gets past 1, beats 2, holds onto the ball. It's a free kick and he will take it, and quite rightly so. It's a shake of the hands from Mike Lebel to me. He thinks this one's done. He thinks it's dusted. 89 minutes on the clock. Paulo Neto and Atlanta have everything in their hands. 1 minute of added on time. The ball goes back to the goalkeeper and the victory parade will start to play out in Atlanta, because Paulo Neto and Atlanta United are your eMLS 2022 Cup champions. What a performance it's been. And what a moment it is for that young man.
Absolute scene. Paulo Neto. He brought the flair, he brought the pyro, he brought the goals in that final. And now he gets to bring home the trophy.